I really don't see hardly any reason for anyone to have a part-time VA because there's so much to be done. To me, it's either full-time or nothing.
Yeah, and I would definitely check out, just like you said, check out the 100 plus tasks to have done for you by a virtual assistant. I think that's important. We could go over how I use VAs in my business. I have 6 cold callers. I have 3 text messengers. I have 2 lead managers, and I have 2 data scrapers and also a transaction coordinator helping our main TC here in the office. So that's just a little high level what I do, because on the cold calling side, I don't know if you've ever, I think you've cold called before. Cold calling beats you up. When I first started, I was hammering the phones. I was door knocking first. Then I was literally going home from door knocking, skip tracing, finding the phone number and hammering the phones. And I'll tell you what, once you do that, you want to quit.
No, so that's what happened this year. My acquisition managers all were celebrating their 4th, 5th, and 6th anniversary.
Yeah.
And you could see the toll the cold calling was taking on them. They used to call 200 a week. Now they're down to like 80 a week apiece. And they're not really looking forward to that 80 either.
Correct.
So we sat them down at the beginning of the year and said, look, we saw their income levels come in. My acquisition managers made between 150 and 250. The upper end was closer to 250 and the lower end was close to 150. But he only worked 3 quarters, you know what I mean? Because he had COVID for an extended period of time. So once we saw, they were making good money, we called them in the room and said, okay, this year, y'all all have to have a full-time VA because you're burning out, man. Your calls are down. You can't be wanting to make another 200 calls a week for this next year again. You just can't be wanting to do that. Yep. And they all agreed they didn't want to, but all of them but one says, well, I really don't want to spend the money on a VA. It's $2,000 or whatever dollars a month. And I said, look, let's do it for a quarter. I'm going to make you do it for a quarter. You have to pay for it. Yep. And if you're not happy at the end of the quarter, we'll put everyone's results on the table. Yep. Yours and the other 2 guys. If y'all aren't happy, we won't do it. But you're going to be happy because you're going to save $6,000 in a quarter, but if you just buy 1 extra property, you're going to make an extra 10. And it's probably going to be a lot more lopsided than that. And it was. Mm-hmm. In the first month of getting the new VAs, while we were training them, they brought in 6 extra deals, which was 2 extra deals per person.
Yeah.
Which was about $20,000 a piece extra for each person. In the first month,
it works.
They're not even trained yet. They weren't even really honed into what we wanted from them. They weren't dumb. They weren't starting green. They had done this business before, but they hadn't learned exactly how we wanted it. You know what I mean?